I called my adoptive mom, Mom, instead of her name for the first time. My birth parents died in a car crash when I was 3. Their small blue sedan crushed by a careening semi-truck on a rain-slicked interstate outside Toledo. I don't remember them as people, just fragments. A woman's gentle humming, the smell of aftershave, warm arms carrying me to bed while whispering goodnight songs I can almost recall but never quite capture. After that, I bounced between relatives who saw me as an obligation rather than family, passed around like an unwanted heirloom nobody wanted to claim but felt too guilty to discard. Cousin Mark lasted 2 months before declaring I was too much work for a single guy. Uncle Dave kept me for 6 months, but his 3 children quickly resented sharing attention and space. The oldest would pinch me when adults weren't looking, hissing that I didn't belong there. Each placement felt like a test I kept failing. Confirmation that I was somehow fundamentally defective. Aunt Sarah finally took me in when I was 8, her thin lips pressed into permanent resignation. She lived in a cramped apartment that smelled perpetually of cigarettes and disappointment. I slept on a lumpy brown couch, learning quickly to make myself invisible during her frequent mood swing. "You should be grateful," she'd say while chain smoking at the kitchen table. "God knows nobody else wanted you. I'm doing this out of Christian duty, nothing more." I learned to tiptoe around her anger, to eat quietly, to never ask for seconds, to pretend I didn't notice when she forgot to buy grocery. Everything changed when I met Mrs. Chen, my 4th grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary. She was small and delicate with genuinely kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. Unlike other adults who looked through me, she actually saw me. She noticed how I never had lunch money, how my stomach growled during lessons, how I lingered after school because I dreaded going home. Without making a scene, she'd slip me granola bars from her desk drawer, pretending she was too full to finish them. "I packed way too much again," she'd say with a conspiratorial wink that made me feel special instead of pitied. When kids made fun of my secondhand clothes, she'd find reasons to keep me after school for special projects, really elaborate excuses to spend time together, to give me a safe space. We'd organize supplies while she shared stories about her own difficult childhood in foster care. "That's exactly why I became a teacher," she'd say softly. "I wanted to help kids like us, kids who needed someone to believe in them." Her classroom became my sanctuary, with its cozy reading corner and walls covered with student artwork. She never made me feel like charity, but her gentle attention was like sunlight after years in cold shadow. One autumn day, she pulled me aside after class. "Would you like me to talk to your aunt about becoming your legal guardian?" she asked quietly. I stared in disbelief. She explained that she'd been watching me struggle and had contacted social services. "Every child deserves a real home with someone who loves them," she said simply. My aunt signed the papers without hesitation, barely glancing up from her soap opera. "One less mouth to feed," she muttered. There was no goodbye, just visible relief at being rid of her burden. Mrs. Chen became mom officially when I was 9, transforming my world completely. Birthday parties with homemade cake, nightly bedtime stories, patient homework help, and genuine bear hugs became my new normal. She taught me to ride a bike, took me to baseball games, and never missed a school event. Despite all her love, I still couldn't bring myself to call her mom. The word felt too precious, too risky after so many disappointments. She never pressured me, but I could see quiet hope in her eyes. Last Tuesday morning, I walked into our kitchen where she stood making pancakes, my favorite. She was wearing her faded blue robe, humming softly like I sometimes imagined my birth mother might have done. "Good morning, sweetie," she said warmly. "Good morning, Mom," I replied automatically, the words slipping out natural as breathing. She dropped the spatula with a clatter, spinning around with eyes filling with tears. "Did you just call me?" she whispered, rushing over to wrap me in the tightest, most loving hug of my life. "I love you so much, my wonderful son," she sobbed. "I love you too, Mom," I said back, the word finally feeling perfect. I had to remind her the pancakes were burning, but she just laughed through happy tears and hugged me tighter.